morning, community. Today is Sunday, June 5th, and I'm just gonna be vlogging my day today. I am solo. Kyle went down to Southern California to visit his family. Tomorrow is his birthday, and so he's spending some time with them, some quality time with his dad in particular. So I'm chilling with Puppy and with Kitty and still doing my daily thing, but we'll have some good conversations, and the first thing I need is coffee.
Stay afloat upon it. The sun sets every day. We can't tell what the night will say. My whole life I live this way. Set me free but make me stay.
I'm sitting here doing some check-ins with my clients, and there are two clients that I just want to really briefly mention because I think that the things that these clients are going through are similar things to what other people go through. So one of my clients, she's been with me for over a year now. We started out with her with some strength building programming, and she couldn't even bench the bar when we first started, and now she's prepping for her first powerlifting meet, and Kyle and I are being really diligent about how we go about prepping her for this powerlifting meet, trying to cater a program that works best for her while also helping her achieve sort of the physical body goals, the fat loss goals that she wants. And I do believe that it is possible for you to cut fat while you're prepping for a meet. You can gain strength if you're slowly cutting fat over the course of time. And we've definitely seen a downward trend in her weight loss. And it's interesting because we had a conversation on Skype last week, and I said, you know, your weight class is 138 pounds. Right now you're sitting at 137. I would not encourage you to continue to really cut from here too much, at least, because we want to stay as close to that weight class as possible. I know that you have fat loss goals in place. I know that there are things that you want to achieve. There are certain, goals that you have for yourself to get down to maybe 130, 132. She mulled it over, she thought it over, and she said, you know what? I decided I'm okay with being around 135 to 137 pounds right now. I don't really want to cut until maybe after the meet. So if I do end up getting down to 135, I'll try to maintain that. Otherwise, I'm fine with where I am now. And I'm just very encouraged by that because she's recognizing that there are strength goals that take the place of fat loss goals, of scale weight goals. And so I think that this is something that we try to encourage our clients to think about. We want them to be actively a part of their process with us, thinking about, my goals have shifted right now. I can put those fat loss goals sort of on the back burner right now to focus on strength, just to focus on maintaining right now and do one thing at a time, scientifically, methodically. Let me do one thing at a time, and I can always go back to that goal. I think too often, many people who get into fitness, they want to do it all. They want to gain strength, they want to lose fat, they want to do this, they want to do that. Just do one thing at a time. You don't have to do it all at once. And then speaking of shifting goals, I have another client who has also been with us for about a year. This past year was her senior year in college, and so she wanted to really enjoy and soak up those final events, and a lot of those final events included drinking. And so her goals over the past couple months have been shifting around. We kind of put weight loss on a back burner so that she could enjoy the last few months of college. But now that it's summer, she's really back to diligent tracking and training. until this past weekend when she had another event to go to. We were kind of talking about why goals shift and how goals shift. And I told her, do not be worried about your goals shifting. Because really what you're doing is you're allowing your lifestyle to dictate how dedicated you are to your tracking and training, which is what you should do. You don't have to be 100% perfect all the time. I just ask my clients for a solid A, a 93%. That's what I want. Give me 93%. It's just not possible to give 100% all the time. And if your lifestyle, and when I say lifestyle, I mean if you have events, if you have trips, if you have, lunches and dinners and all kinds of things that you want to do with your friends, that it would just kind of make it impossible or kind of annoying for you to track macros and be super perfect with your training that week or that weekend, then don't do it. Enjoy your life. So many times we see people who are like, no, 100%, I need to be diligent all the time, no matter where I go, no matter what I do. And that's fine for some people. But for some people, like this particular client, she's like, I want to do both. And I'm trying to validate for her, that's okay. The past couple weeks, she hasn't had any events. So she's been able to be very diligent, very perfect with her tracking and training. But the next couple weeks, she's gonna have some events. So tracking and training is not gonna be the first priority, and it shouldn't be. She's not prepping for a show, she's not prepping for a meet, she's just, this is a general long-term lifestyle choice for her, and that's okay. We don't have to be 100% perfect all the time, because if you are for so long, you're much more likely to get burnt out. But if you have that kind of accountability and guidance of a coach saying, you know what, it's okay for you to take a couple weeks to just enjoy your time and then come back to it, then it's good to have that kind of reassurance. And that's what she just said, thank you for that reassurance. I love my clients, and I love being able to help them, again, work through their own thought process and being able to be there alongside them instead of dictating to them, no, this is how you must live your life. Hey again, we're back. I just did some mobility, but I did not film that because you guys have already seen me do mobility in other videos. And if you would like to see maybe more mobility, maybe what Kyle and I can do is do a full kind of mobility and accessory work kind of training video at 1825 when he comes back from Southern California. We'd love to do that, to share something like that with you guys. So it's about 1 o'clock. I still won't eat for about another hour and a half, and then I will probably run to the gym at about 3. Leia and I decided to come to our favorite place, out on our patio couch. So I'm gonna sit here, I've got my passion planner. I'm gonna fill some things in and also journal a little bit, just take some time and just enjoy my time with my puppy and get ready to, at least get mentally ready to squat a little bit later. Since so many of you loved my word of the day yesterday, today's word of the day is opulence. It means luxury, wealth, and grandeur.
Made you lose your friends? Did you lose your life? Stay at home, make her your wife. I wonder what you see at night. The sun sets every day. We can't tell what the night will say. My whole life I live this way. Set me free but make me stay. The sun sets every day.
Gym was awesome. I was really pleased with how that workout went. Of course, as soon as I filmed like one accessory work set, I had a manager come over to me and say, "You can't film in here." So you guys got to see me do dumbbell overhead press. I am gonna go to Yummy Yogurt because the flavors today are bomb. They're like coconut cream, grasshopper, salted caramel pretzel. Slay. I'm gonna go and get that.
Well, you can try the whole night long. Will you ever see what's wrong? No one knows me like you do.
Alrighty, so we got that. Getting back in the car. I ended up getting the 2 Wow Cow flavors. Oh, I'm pretty zoomed in on my face. Whoa. I ended up getting the 2 Wow Cow flavors, which were sweet coconut cream and grasshopper. And then I got a small of the salty caramel pretzel. I didn't want to mix that in, obviously, but on the weekends, they usually run coupons where if you buy a large, then you get a small free. And so that's what happened today, so that's why I did that.
You can fix it, yes, it's true.
I'm sitting here responding to some client check-ins, some Sunday check-ins, and one of my clients actually sparked a conversation this past week, and she was talking about how she thought about her body and how she's fairly fixated on the scale because she wants to see that constant linear progression, and that just doesn't always happen. And so we ended up having a conversation about how we view our bodies versus how other people in our lives, especially the people that love us, view our body. Something that I say to a lot of my clients is, treat your body and speak to your body, love on your body in a way that you would want a lover to treat and speak to and love on your body. Many times when I'm feeling down about myself or I'm feeling, like I don't look my best or I just don't like my body that day, which happens all the time, I think to myself, how would Kyle speak about my body? How would he tell me that I look right now, right? And obviously not everyone has a partner, but how would you want a future partner to speak to you? How would you speak to a lover, right, about their body? But it's very difficult for us to develop sort of our own forms of self-love if, we haven't broken down or unlearned such destructive behaviors. A really common question that I get is, how did you learn to overcome your binge eating, or how did you learn to overcome your bouts with self-deprecation, or how did you learn to love yourself? And I want to make it clear that you don't just learn how to get over those things. They're constant battles every day, just in the same way that I talked to you guys recently about anxiety. Anxiety doesn't just go away, and it's not something that needs to necessarily be fixed. And so instead, I think ways to maybe combat those feelings are to be open and honest about them, especially with yourself and with other people, but also to recognize that you can unlearn those behaviors and still struggle with them from time to time, and that's okay. You must make conscious decisions every day to be mindful about how you're thinking about your body, or in the case of binge eating in particular, how are you going to bless your body best today? Usually it's not by overeating or overindulging or binge eating. And that doesn't mean that you won't have times where you still struggle or you still backslide. It just means that you've learned maybe proper techniques to combat those things. When it comes to self-love, when there's some arbitrary ideal that you have to live up to, and that it's constantly, thrown in your face through media, through social media, through, photoshopped versions of women and men, the men that are listening, you're going to continue to compare yourself. But you can be open and honest with yourself and other people about those feelings so that you can say, okay, these feelings exist. I accept them. I can contextualize them because I see them. They're pervasive, they're ubiquitous, they're all around me all the time. And then you talk through to a solution where you say, okay, I am today going to choose to treasure myself. I'm going to choose to think about myself kindly, or think about myself and talk to myself in a way that I would want a lover to talk to me. And it doesn't mean that those things are gonna go away, that they magically disappear overnight, that those feelings of self-deprecation just go away. They don't. You're gonna struggle with them. But what you can do is start to write down things that you're grateful for and things that you love about your body. Look at yourself in the mirror and identify things that you love about yourself and focus and fixate on those things instead of all the things that you dislike about yourself. I know that's exhausting to have to go through that, and that's what I told my client as well. But you can learn to have a better mentality towards yourself and of course towards other people as well if you make mindful and conscious decisions to love on yourself. So this is the oatmeal that I make every single night. And it's just oatmeal from True Nutrition, and I'll show you. I've posted about this before on social media, rather frequently actually. So this is True Nutrition, and you can make some custom blends. This one is Snickerdoodle. This one was Bananas Foster, it has banana chips in it. And I've tried like a lot of like custom, like my oatmeal making companies, and this is definitely the best one that I've ever used. It's the cheapest, they have the most flavors, it's the most delicious, so I really recommend that you check truenutrition.com out.
Slow, working twice as hard to get it done. No place to go but up. You say it can't be done.
So dude.
So dude, it's your birthday! Happy birthday to you. You're 28 years old. That's a nipple.
Hello. I feel the same as being like 22 or 20 or...
Your hair looks fly.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'm waiting for my my angel food cake to come out. I sing. Yeah, I love you.
I love you too.
Listen to you, I won't be listening to me. Listening to you makes me believe my stuff could never be. Keep my hands up, my mind is sound. You can try.
And that was my boring Sunday. I hope that you enjoyed it. If I can think of more topics to talk about, we can talk about it in the morning when I wake up. But for now, I watched the rest of the Game of Thrones episode from this week, and I loved it. It was super good. Peaky Blinders. I'm gonna go to bed with the kids. Leia's trying to get toys. You have enough toys. Why do you need more of them? Put your peanut back. You don't need this. Say goodnight to the people. Good night. Hey guys, so it's the next morning and I'm watching the playback from last night, and I realized that throughout a lot of the things that I was talking about yesterday, a lot of them kind of came down to thoughts and letting thoughts kind of come into your brain and you needing to process them when sometimes you just need to let those thoughts go. Last week when I went and saw my therapist, we were talking about thoughts just in general and why thoughts oftentimes breed anxiety, at least for me. And I think it's because for me, I need to logically organize my world and I need to process things that happen to me or process things that are happening around me. So what happens is, and this is what my therapist said, a thought will flutter into my head and I'll be like, okay, let me break this apart, let me deconstruct it, let me try to, compartmentalize it, let me try to process it, whatever, especially when bad things happen. And then it'll just ring around in my head like all day long. And even when I'm sleeping, I'm probably thinking about it, right? But what she said is like, Ilyssa, it's okay for you to have that thought kind of float into your head and then let it go. It can sit there for a second like a bird perched on, a tree branch, and then it can fly away. And I looked at her and I was like, you can? I'm cutting off my face right now. That really bothers me, this idea of like not processing thoughts. One of my favorite quotes ever is, are your choices and actions conducive to your goals and aspirations? And if my goals and aspirations right now are to learn to be less anxious, to learn, of course, not to control my anxiety, but to learn how to control my reactions to my anxiety. And with my clients as well, if your goal is to really truly learn to love your body in better ways, or if your goal is to find a sustainable form of fitness for a long time, or if your goal is to, right now gain strength and then come back to, losing fat or something like that, then you have to accept those things. You have to say, this is the thought that I have right now, or like those nagging fears, I guess, that come in. But what if I, gain weight? Or what if I, go over my macros and like I set back all the progress I made? Or what if I don't lose weight this week? And those are all, sources of anxiety that are flying at you at all times. And something my therapist said, and of course I'm not a therapist, so don't take my advice for this, like, as dogma or as doctrine, right? But she said, Ilyssa, those thoughts can come in and they can fly away. And learning to let go of those nagging fears, I think, is one of the first steps towards me being able to control my reactions to anxiety. Not trying to control that fear, just saying, okay, that's there. What am I gonna do alongside that being there? How am I gonna live my life alongside that fear, that nagging fear kind of trying to eat away at me, right? Am I gonna let that in? And am I gonna actually give it the opportunity and the space to start to eat away at me? Or am I just going to say, no, I'm gonna let you go? So I don't have to control everything that happens to me around me. Let your thoughts fly away. Do not let those thoughts come and eat away at you and eat away at the progress that you're making or the decisions that you've made to better your life. I hope that this video in general was fun for you guys to watch. I hope that it was engaging for you. And if you like this video, could you please give it a thumbs up down below? Send me a comment. Look at my hair. It's like lioness hair. I need to wash it. It's disgusting right now, sorry. Let's open up some dialogue, let's open up some conversation. And again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you, community, from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.